In this video, I am sharing more prices of some of my recent cakes, and I have a bunch of cakes varying from 1 to 4 tiers. Now, I have tons of videos talking about pricing your cakes. There are many factors that go into pricing your cakes, including location, the cost of the ingredients, the size, the detail, and the design, and a whole lot of other things. So I'm going to link those videos in the description for you in case you'd like to check them out. So we are going to start with the 1-tier cakes. Now, the first 3 cakes that I have on this list are from my budget-friendly cake options, and I do have a video talking about my budget-friendly cakes, and I'm going to link that in the description for you. So the first cake is this buttercream rosette cake, and all of my budget-friendly cakes are 3-layer not torted cakes. Now, I have a video where I talk about when I tort and when I don't tort my cakes, and that will be linked in the description. So this one is a 3-layer not torted 5-inch cake. It feeds 14 to 16, and that E on top is made of fondant, and that did take me a long time to do. And this one I only charged $85. Luckily, she tipped me another $15, so I did get $100 total for this cake. But since I have made this cake, I have redone my budget-friendly options. So now this design costs $115. And when I created my budget-friendly cakes, I was trying to think of designs that were pretty simple for me to do and working with lower price ranges. So as I started making some of these budget-friendly cakes, I realized that they were a little bit more work than I originally thought. That's why I increased the prices slightly. On to cake number 2. And that is this white heart cake. Now, I did have heart cakes in my budget-friendly cake options, which I removed because after making this cake, I realized heart-shaped cakes, they do take a lot of time to make, so they are no longer included in my budget-friendly options. However, this one is a 3-layer not torted 5-inch cake, and again, it feeds 14 to 16 people, and this one was $140. The third 1-tier cake, which is one of my budget-friendly cakes as well. This is a 3-layer not torted 8-inch cake. It feeds 28 to 32. And this one was $170. Now, I have since revamped my budget-friendly cake options, like I said. Now I'm only doing between 5-inch and 7-inch, so I do 5, 6, and 7-inch, so I removed the 8-inch. And the 7-inch cake option, which is slightly smaller than this, feeds 22 to 26 and is $180. And here are my updated budget-friendly cake options. So I do have the rosette cake with a fondant or a non-edible topper, the cookies and cream drip cake, a rainbow Jimmy's cake in place of the heart-shaped cake, and an edible image photo cake. And again, I do have a video talking about those, and I will link that below. On to cake number 4. And that is this drip cake. I don't have a video showing you how to make this exact one, but I do have a loaded cake tutorial that will be linked in the comments. This cake on the inside is a 6-inch double barrel cake. Double barrel cakes are 2 tiers of the same size iced into one really big tall tier. And I do have a video talking about how I make double barrel cakes, and that will be linked below as well. It feeds 25 to 30 people, and this one was $300. The last 1-tier cake is this firefighter themed cake, and I do have a video showing you how I make this, and that will be linked below. This cake on the inside is a 2-layer torted 9-inch cake. It feeds 24 to 28 people, and this one was $375. On to the 2-tier cakes. The first one is this We Can Barely Wait cake. Now, I have made this bear fondant bubble cake so many different times. It's one of my favorite designs to make, and I don't have a video showing you how to do this exact cake, but I have a video showing you how to do the teddy bear cake topper and how to make the fondant balls and an edible image banner, so they will all be linked below. This cake on the inside, the top tier is a 2-layer torted 5-inch, and the bottom tier is a 2-layer torted 7-inch. It feeds 25 to 30 people, and this one was $380. This next cake is a variation of a design that I have done in the past, and I do have a video showing you how I make this cake just in different colors. That will be linked below. The top tier is a 3-layer not torted 5-inch, and the bottom tier is a 2-layer torted 7-inch. It feeds 30 to 35 people, and this one was $380. This next one is a One Happy Camper themed cake, and I did not film this one, but I do have a video showing you how to make the tree stump cake, and that will be linked below. And this is the same size as the other one, so the top tier is a 3-layer not torted 5-inch, and the bottom tier is a 2-layer torted 7-inch. It feeds 30 to 35 people, and this one was $425. And the last two-tier cake that I have is this stacked books cake. Now this was for my friend from high school. She published this book and she wanted me to make a cake that looked like her book. And this one was so much fun to make. So what I did, this feeds about 30 to 35 people. So I made a half sheet cake and I cut that in half. And then I torted each layer. So the books weren't going to be really thick because it's just a torted one layer cake. So each cake feeds about 15 to 18 people. Now I did not film how I made this exact cake, but I do have a video going into detail on how to make a perfect 3D book cake, and that will be linked below. Now this cake took forever, and it was at the end of a stressful week, and this one was stressing me out. However, I do love how it turned out, but it just took way longer than I thought. All those tiny letters, I had to hand pipe them. The bigger white letters were all hand cut. It just took a really long time for me to make. Whoops. And like I said, this one feeds about 30 to 35 people. And I only charged her $500. If I had to make this again, it would probably be, why is that so hard to say? Probably be closer to $650 to $700. On to the three-tier cakes. The first one is this denim theme cake, and this one was so much fun to make. Now, I did not film this entire cake, but I did film the asymmetrical fondant wrap, so that video will be linked below. This cake on the inside, the top tier is a 2-layer torted 5-inch, the middle tier is a 2-layer torted 7-inch, and the bottom tier is a 3-layer not torted 9-inch. It feeds 60 to 70 people, and this one was $650. This next cake was so much fun to make. This was for a guy who worked at this restaurant and was retiring after 28 years. This cake on the inside, the top tier is a 2-layer torted 6-inch. The middle tier is a 3-layer not torted 8-inch. And the bottom tier is a 3-layer not torted 10-inch. It feeds 80 to 90 people, and this one was $800. And I didn't film how I do this cake, but I did film how I make that wooden board, and that will be linked below. On to the final cake, which is 4 tiers. And that is this candy theme cake that I made for a bat mitzvah. And this one was so much fun to make, and I do have a video showing you how I decorate this cake. That is linked in the description. The top tier is a 2-layer torted 6-inch. The middle tier is a 2-layer torted 8-inch. The third tier is a 2-layer torted 10-inch. And the bottom tier is a 3-layer not torted 12-inch. It feeds 115 to 130 people, and this one was $1,040. So I think that's it. I hope by me sharing the prices of my cakes, it kind of helps you figure out how much to charge for your cakes. Now, some people can't necessarily charge as much as I do, and some people may want to charge more than I do. But it's nice to kind of get an idea of what other people around the country are charging. Now, I'm in Philly. I'm just outside of Philadelphia. Go Birds. Go Phillies. And I'm near a city, so I'm not in a rural area, so I'm able to charge a little bit more. Sometimes if you live in a rural area, you can't get as much for your cakes. So like I said before, location and many other factors go into pricing your cakes, and all of those videos are linked below. If you have any questions or comments about any of these cakes that I made, leave them below. And just a reminder, I have ebooks with all of the recipes that I use. I have my signature scratch pound cake recipes, my best doctored cake mix recipes, all of my buttercream icing and filling recipes, along with my favorite numbers and my favorite fonts, so they will all be linked below. And I do have a KakeAcademy membership program where I can help you elevate your cakes to the next level. There are 3 tiers to the program. I'm going to link all of that information in the description so you can check it out. I would love to have you aboard. Please like this video if you liked it, and if you're enjoying my tutorials, I would be so grateful if you could buy me a coffee. My link is down below. And I would love it if you would keep in touch on socials, and you could check out my website. And if you want to stick around, you can watch this video next. And hit subscribe and the bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. And remember, it's cake. Have fun. I will see you on the next one. Bye.